Hello, 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 and welcome to 7 Things on Purpose Arena. I'm super excited to be here today. This is the very first episode for 2021. Whoa, and it's just amazing and fantastic to be here. So, my name is Kemi, just by way of introduction. Obviously, this is not Dr. Sam. My name's Kemi Oye, the career doctor, and I work with people to discover their purpose-driven career so that they can live a fulfilled and impactful life, as well as have a great career. So today, I'm going to be your host for today. So Dr. Sam has given me this wonderful privilege and opportunity to host 7 Things for today. And I'm super excited. Because I guess, it's helping Dr. Sam do something. So I'm quite excited about that. And B, because I was the first guest on 7 Things way back in June of last year. So it really is an awesome privilege to be here. So thanks to Dr. Sam. Thank you so much. God bless you indeed. Now, if we've got people online, would you like to share with me who you are and where you are streaming from? So where are you connecting from? Who you are? How excited is it? Way excited. Who's excited? I am. So who have we got and where are you calling from? Who have we got and where are you calling from? Or where are you dialing in from? We've got Dr. Sam, who's excited. Fantastic. Who else is with us today on this amazing day, the 13th of April, 2021? Fantastic. Right. Yes. So Kemi, my namesake. Hello. I'm excited. Where are you calling from or where are you connecting from? Tell us where you're connecting from. Nigeria, amazing. I'm sure it's super nice and warm in Nigeria. I'm here in the UK. Weather's not particularly nice, but put up with it. Who else? Who else have we got? Who else is online? Yay. Who else is online? We've got someone else. Yes, someone's fired up. I like to see that. Let me see more fires. Let me see more emojis. Who's expectant? Who's excited? Oh, hello, Veronica from Chicago. Wow. I wonder what the weather's like in Chicago. Veronica, how's it going over there? What's the weather like? Fantastic. Who else have we got? It's such a joy to be here today. I'm so delighted to be here. Just sharing with you. I mean, our guest is super ready and I cannot wait to bring her on. I cannot wait. Okay, Veronica says it's nice in Chicago. Amazing. It's a joy to have you. So thank you so much for connecting. Who else do we have? Online? Anyone else? Where are you calling? Where are you connecting from? And what's your name? So today is going to be amazing. It's going to be life-changing for some people. It's going to be insightful. It's going to be refreshing. And I am just as excited as everyone else. And so before I bring up my guest for today, I would like to say, just be ready to take notes, be ready to learn, be ready to be blessed, okay? Because I think today I'm going to be blessed and I'm going to make sure that I have my notes ready to take some fantastic nuggets, which I believe our special guest will have today. So who else do we have? We've got someone else calling from Nigeria. Amazing. Anyone else? Let's see how excited you are. So give me some emojis. How are you feeling today? It's Tuesday, the 13th of April. How are you feeling today? Give me an emoji to show how you are. How's today been, for example? So for people in Chicago, it's probably you're still in afternoon or morning, if anything. Oh, Dr. Sam showing love. Amazing. Someone else is showing, yeah, we're all ready. Okay. Amazing. So, fantastic. Deepak, I'm good. Exciting. Good to have you. Amazing. So I'm going to go ahead. So before I introduce my guest, I would like to say, if anyone on this platform is willing and able and prepared to share their message, your story. If you want to bless everyone else who's also on this platform, make sure that you contact either myself, Dr. Sam, or anyone on any of the admin on the Facebook page, on the Purpose Arena page, and that will be sorted out for you. So I'm going to do a brief introduction of who we have for today. Her name is Amelia Sinton. She is a friend of mine. So this is what's going to make it even more special for me, I think. She's a friend of mine, a sister from another mother, as I say, and she is just an amazing person. So Amelia Sinton, I'm just going to read you her bio, so you kind of get a feel for who's coming on. Amelia Sintim is an events executive manager for one of the leading global hotels in the UK. Amazing. With more than 15 years experience in the meetings and event space. Now, I can tell you this for free. Amelia is fantastic with connecting people, connecting. So if you're looking for things like space, meetings, for conferences, she is your girl. And the hotels we're talking about, they're not just any hotels, right? These are like global hotels we're talking about. So yeah, she's your girl. I'll carry on. During her time at Rowan High School in the borough of Merton, Emelia was a very active sports person and served as a ball girl at Wimbledon Tennis Club for the likes of Andre Agassi and Pete Sampras. I mean, this is big, right? So when she was in high school, she was rubbing shoulders with the likes of Pete Sampras and Andre Agassi. That is amazing. Okay, so at university, Emelia obtained a BA Honours degree in hospitality management from the University of Brighton. Now I see why, well, Brighton. I don't know how many people know where Brighton is, but that's the kind of area where you go and you come back a different person. And that will explain to you why Emelia can be a bit electric and she's full of fire. But anyway, I'll carry on. So following graduation, she went on to work within the hotel industry in roles such as operations supervisor, event sales executive, diary manager, senior meetings, and events executive, business development executive. Everything's just going on, executive. So she is really an executive, right? And she's been working and she currently works as an events executive manager, a role that she's been doing for the last 5 years. So this woman is big, right? She ain't no small person. Achievements in these roles has seen recognition, such as, listen to this, team member of the month. So herself and her team achieving a gold standard accreditation award in recognition of excellent meetings, hospitality venue for 4 years consecutively. That was in 2017, 2018, 2019, and 2020. Even in COVID, this woman is being awarded gold standard accreditation. Amazing, amazing. In 2018, Emelia and her team also won an award for Department of the Year. She's just full of awards. Like, this woman wins awards all over the place. Amazing. And then herself and her team also went on to achieve revenue targets in excess of £3.6 million. Amazing. This is the kind of person you would love in your team. Okay. Outside of her professional capacity, Emelia is a worship leader and an active member in her local church at Winners Chapel International, based in Middlesex, UK. So this is where our sisterly love comes from. So we both worship in the same place. So amazing. She's also a co-host for virtual online events and seminars. So if you're looking for anyone who would host any of your programs or events, Emelia is the person you want. She's also a voiceover narrator within the media team of her local church and enjoys socializing with friends and family. She enjoys cooking with her children, being the chief taster for any sweet treats they bake, and enjoys self-development through online seminars, absolutely important, which she has engaged with throughout the lockdown. Amazing, amazing profile. And I know you cannot wait to have Amelia Sintim on this program. Okay, so who's ready? Who's ready? Who's ready? If you are ready for her, just let me know. Say ready, ready, ready. Ready, ready, ready. Let me see your readies. Let me see your comments. Come on, let me see those readies. Yes, 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 yes. We are ready. Okay. So I think she's ready and we're ready. So without further ado, I'm going to bring up Sister Amelia Sintim. Yay. Yay. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Such a joy to have you. I am super delighted and excited to have you on 7 Things. I think Dr. Sam must be smiling. I'm really excited that we've got somebody that is absolutely amazing, somebody who's willing to share, share their message, to bless other people who are on this platform today. And I know that you're going to do just that justice. So, I've given everyone a high level introduction to who you are.
I was like, oh my God. I was like, wow.
Okay. So just give us a little introduction, if you like. So tell us something about you that we probably don't know, or just say something about yourself.
Yeah, so you've read most of it, but also I'm very reserved like person, so I'm always working in the background, always in the background, always willing to help, to assist, and I like to make sure I'm always developing myself. I love to learn, because I think you can't go without learning, because there's something new that we all need to be learning every day. And I think sometimes my personality probably links in with what I do as well, because I love helping people, and I think probably that's why I ended up in hospitality. Easygoing, always being there to help people, support people, and that's it really. I like to have a good time, make meeting my friends and family an occasion to remember. Yes, so that's me.
Amazing. And just before you guys tell us the 7 things that you're going to share with us, so your topic is 7 things to make you stand out in hospitality. Now, some people might be thinking, well, that doesn't really apply to me because I'm a business person. But I would say this applies to anyone and everyone across the board. So whether you've got a job, whether you've got a career, whether it's your business, I feel hospitality is one of those things that we all have to have that. Shall I even use it as a skill? So how to be hospitable. And I think a lot of what you're going to be sharing today will absolutely help all of our viewers today. So I'm excited, and I'm sure you're ready to go. So why did you choose this topic? Oh, is it me or is it Sister Amelia? I can't hear you. It looks like she's frozen, or have I frozen? So we're having network issues. Do apologize. But can you hear me? Can everyone hear me? Okay. I think it's Sister Amelia. So whilst we're waiting for her to come back on, she's just saying she's going to be sharing 7 things that you need to know about hospitality. And like I said, it's a subject that we everyone, whether you're in business, whether you have a career, whether it's a job that you're doing, these are things that we all must learn to be a better person, to generate more income, whether it's for your employer, generate more profits, whether you're a business person. So I think we will all benefit from today. And I'm super excited and cannot wait to hear the 7 things that Sister Amelia is going to be sharing with us. But while she's waiting to come on, if you are interested in featuring on 7 things, so like I said, this is the first episode for 2021, and we will be excited to have you on board to share with the whole world, really, what you have. So what is that one thing that you're passionate about? What is it, that one thing? How are you able to pursue purpose in that place? And what do you have? What message do you have to share with the whole world? How can you use your message to bless humanity? Because don't forget, the reason why we are here on planet Earth is so that we can be a blessing to other people. So we are blessed with all those skills, with all those talents, with our personality, with the passion, not so we can sit on it and do nothing. It's for us to use it to bless other people around us. And of course, destinies are attached to everyone on planet Earth. So, for example, I work as a career doctor, for example, career coach, and I know that destinies are attached to mine. People who need to be in the right career, people who need to be aligned in the place that they should be based on their strengths, based on their passion, based on the many talents that God has given to them. I see a lot of people, in this day and age, doing jobs, doing things that they're not necessarily best matched to. And so my whole idea, or the mandate that God has given to me, is to help other people in that space so that they are impactful and they are fulfilled in their career. And that's what I do. And I know that there's so many people out there who are wanting to do that. So, Deepak, thank you. It's so yeah, I live and work in the UK. I was born in the UK, by the way, and I grew up in Nigeria. So I did spend some time in Nigeria. And do you know what? Thank God I did, because that was where I learned a lot of my values, the culture, that whole essence of, knowing who you are and where you're from. So I'm really grateful to both my parents that I was brought up in Nigeria, although, I spent the majority of my time in the UK. So whilst we're waiting for Sister Amelia, who's excited? So yes, like I was saying, if you want to feature on 7 things on Purpose Arena, please do send a message to either myself, Dr. Sam, or any of the admin people on the Facebook page. And I would be so delighted to host anyone who's prepared to share, their purpose, to share what it is that God has given to you. Okay? Because when you showed up on planet Earth, right? You showed up on planet Earth for a particular reason. Okay? When you showed up, you were designed, right, for a particular purpose. The way you speak, your build, the way you look, your height, your weight, everything about you is aligned to the reason why you were created. And God has equipped you for a particular purpose. So he's deposited inside of you amazing talents. He's given you the personality that you have for a reason. And I don't know if people have just come on, but Sister Emelia was sharing that her personality, she's the sort of person who's a bit quiet, a bit reserved, and actually she's working in the hospitality suite. So this is my point about you being equipped and designed for a particular maybe type of work, for a particular purpose. Okay. And also you are resourced for purpose. So you are designed, equipped, and resourced for purpose. And I'll give you an example of what I mean by that. I've come across a lot of people who are, again, I'd use my example as a career coach. So I've come across a lot of people in that space, in the work setting, who don't necessarily do the job or have the career that aligns with their strengths. And what tends to happen is they then what tends to happen is they then we've got Sister Amelia back. So yes, yes, yes. Let's have her back. Let's have her back. Come on, come on, come on. Okay. We bind every issue. I mean, this is the UK, right?
Oh my God. Can you imagine?
And we have network issues, but I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be fine. So glad to have you back. Glad to have
Thank
you back.
you.
Amazing. So you were just sharing with us. So I asked the question, why the topic? Why did you choose this topic?
Okay, so I chose this topic because obviously what's happened to us in the whole of the year, we found our industry has really suffered, and therefore I feel the need to us to look at these skills again, because they're going to be very crucial in their recovery, in coming back into hospitality. So I feel the need to refresh our skills, remind us of the things that customers will be looking for, and things that we really need to make sure that we're on top of, to make sure we excel in the industry. Because the road to recovery, we just entered into the road recovery. Although international travel is not opened yet, but still, wherever you find yourself in whatever country, there still will be local tourism, local attraction. Staycation is now the word that is happening. And these things, if you're providing any service, you need to make sure you enhance these skills and make sure that you offer the best that you can to still stay and retain customers. So that's the reason why I thought it'll be nice to relook at these skills.
And I was saying earlier, and I don't know if you agree with me, that this cuts across all boards. So it doesn't just apply to people in employment. Would you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely, definitely. Some of these skills that we'll probably be talking about, you can refer, it is in everyday life, even in service, in your local church, in anything that you do. All these things really apply. And I think if we enhance them, develop those skills, I think you find everyone will be happy, and we will be creating memories. Memories.
So I've got my pen, I've got my pad. Right, tell me about number one. So what's number one?
Okay, so number one is customer service. Customer service is a skill that makes us stand out in hospitality. Some say customer service, some call it customer orientation. So whatever you are offering, you need to make sure that you are you're up in your game. This is a very important skill that is needed, not only in hospitality, but I think across any service that you're offering. Customer service is very important. This is what makes or breaks you, should I say, especially in our industry. So regardless of the situation, you need to make sure that you're prioritizing the customer's needs. You're listening to what they're asking for, making sure that you're offering them that memorable experience, be it at a venue, at a hotel, at a restaurant, or even if they come into your space, your coaching space. You need to make sure that you offer them that service that will be memorable. And also, this is what makes or breaks hospitality, customer service. So it's a very important skill that we need to make sure that we're always on top of, and we're always making sure that we fine tune it, and we on top of our game. It's also about being proactive. Customer service is about being proactive, making sure that you go that extra mile for your clients, your guests, your customers, and making sure that they have that positive experience when they're with you. And sometimes it brings back the customer again. So through the service that you provide, makes them come back. So it's one, you have customer retention, so which is it's very important. This is where you get your feedback from. You know, sometimes dealing with difficult customers can be a bit challenging, but you know, meeting their needs and trying to resolve the issue, you know, while they're there makes it, you know, it's quite important. So yeah, I'll say, you know, making sure you're always smiling as well. No matter what the situation is, you're smiling, you're being professional, you're being polite. You know, also.
What do you say to somebody who's had a horrible day? So somebody's listening right now. They they work for an employer, maybe in the retail industry, let's use an example, and they've had a rotten day, right? Everything that could go wrong has gone wrong. How do you then say you've got to be positive and smile and do all of this when actually they've had a rotten day and they don't really care? How do you deal with that?
It's all in the mind. It's the mind, Kemi. It's all in the mind, and also you have to. You know, we've all had those days that's been challenging, but you have to make sure that you don't dawn on the fact that, oh, it's been horrible. Just welcome the situation as a challenge to make you, you know, better. Yeah, just because you've had a bad, it doesn't mean that the customer needs to face the effects of your bad day. Don't forget, it's the customer that's bringing in the business, that making sure that we're still in employment. The service you offer, also don't forget, word of mouth is another powerful tool as well. So if I've been somewhere that you know, the service has been great, I've been treated really nicely, it's just word of mouth. I really recommend you, you know, go here or speak to this person. Their service is very impeccable. They're really polite. They do listen. You know, and sometimes it can be challenging, but you just have to, you know, dust yourself off and get ready and see it as a challenge. You know, just see it as a challenge and move on. Try not to dwell on it so much. Tomorrow's another day.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely agree with what you said about, you know, not bringing your problems to work, because actually your customers or clients are the reason why you're still in that job. So that's for you to do the job, for you to be paid. So really, there's no point in not being kind to the people that are actually keeping you in your job.
Yeah.
Got it from the angle, then maybe, you know, people would, I suppose, you know, there's this thing about, oh, the customer's always right, which I used to hear a lot. Even though sometimes you can have, you know, difficult customers. But I love what Deepak says. Mistakes make you all stronger. Don't worry about it. Again, the makes you stronger. Don't worry about think about the experience, is what you've said. Think about the positive experience. Amazing. What's number 2?
So number 2 is communication. Communication is another skill that is very, very key, and we need to enhance on. So communication is through speech, through writing, and body language. So body language is essential, especially in face-to-face meeting with customers, clients. So very, very important. So we need to make sure that one, you understand and you speak in the way that the client or the customer will understand what you're saying. So sometimes we tend to use a lot of terminology that sometimes, you know, people don't really understand, or jargons, because obviously we think that because we're in this industry, everybody should know what some of these jargons are. So for instance, in my line of work, we use a lot RFPs, you know, what is it's request for proposal. So sometimes we just say, oh, you know, proposal, we can send you a proposal. If I start using, oh yeah, I received an RFP from this, you know, you're not going to understand what I mean by an RFP. So the language that we use. And also when you're dealing with a customer, just make sure they understand what you're communicating. So maybe your terms and conditions, the service that you're offering, things that you want them to meet, like the deadline. all these things are really, really important. You know, we have to make sure that we're really also listening to what the customer or the client is asking for, and how you can try and resolve or solve their problems, you know, through, you know, their issues effectively as well. So it's really key. I think sometimes we, even though I think sometimes we don't pay too much attention to this communication skill. We think it's just writing, but also it's in the speech and is in our body language. So it's quite a broad area. So these, we really need to pay attention to communication in order to make sure we stand out in the field that we're in.
Amazing. I agree with you about the body language, because I think your body language can speak thousands
Yes.
volumes more than what you say. So I could say to you, "Oh, how are you, Amelia?" And my body language is not even, it's not welcoming, it's not warm. I'm just asking for the sake of, okay, I just need to do it. So I think, yeah, body language is absolutely important, spot on. I think it's powerful that if you're able to communicate in the way that people understand, then it helps that relationship, it helps that experience. What do you say to somebody, and I get this a lot, what do you say to people who, for example, you talked about language, and I feel language to some extent is it's quite broad. What I mean by that is, what my question is really about: how do you communicate with somebody who's not able to, I don't know, who doesn't have English as their first language? So say, for example, you've got a customer. How do you not get irritated? Because I see this happen. You know, people aren't able to speak and they're like, okay, tell me what you want. And that's something, you're standing there thinking, yeah, very nice. How do you deal with that? Because I guess, you know, we all get frustrated when people are speaking a language or they don't quite understand what you're, how do you break those barriers down and communicate effectively?
Yeah, so I think one, you need to read. It does get and understand where you're coming from. It can be very irritating, but you need patience, and then you need to listen. So I think this is where the listening skill comes from. And then also another thing is being mindful of culture awareness. So this is another skill that we need to be mindful of. As you said, language, English might not be their first language, but you just probably just try and understand the basics of what they're trying to communicate to you. Sometimes you know, somebody can use hand gestures, or they might say, again, hand gestures, we need to be mindful as well, because, you know, some things mean different things. But it's just really being patient and just trying to understand what the customer or the client is trying to ascertain. If it means they're trying to point somewhere, if they want a drink, if they want coffee, if you have the menu, if it's easy to, you know, bring out the menu for them to point out, or if it's easy for them to write it down so that you can understand. Or again, if you have a colleague in the office, I mean, the fantastic thing about hospitality is that we have people from different backgrounds who speak different languages. So again, if somebody speaks the same language as the customer, we tend to, you know, are you able to interpret what they're saying? But it does require being patient, I would say, you know, and really listening to what they're trying to communicate to you.
Amazing. What's number 3?
Number 3, attention to detail. Attention to detail. So this is something that is very critical, and it's crucial, and it's something that is kind of drilled into your work, you know, from the get-go, because it's a skill that's very important that we need to be mindful of, and it's quite crucial, especially in hospitality. So we need to make sure that, you know, we are on top of our game. And also applies to any form of occupation that you have. So for instance, your presentation of your products. For instance, if you walk into a restaurant, the ambience, you have to make sure you scan the room, make sure nothing is out of place. Things like maybe the invoice that you're sending out, just checking that the numbers are correct. You don't have too many zeros, you don't have less zeros. You know, the administrative things, and also particularly like maybe in ingredients that you're cooking in a restaurant, something's out of date, to just make sure you're not actually using it in your ingredients. It also helps you to develop a relationship with the customer, believe it or not, because when you notice the little things of the customer, you're able to go that extra mile, and they're able to notice that, oh, you really value my service. For instance, if a guest walks in into the lobby and you see they're struggling with the luggage, you can help them. You know, knowing guests how they like their drinks. You find that sometimes corporate clients who we book accommodation for, they check in. We tend to know, you know, they tell us a bit about themselves whilst you're checking, as you're speaking to them, and maybe they say, oh, I like this floor, a particular floor. So next time when they come, you just automatically checking them to that floor, a particular room, which is viewing, you know, a view that they like, or a newspaper that they like to have every morning, maybe having a wake-up call as well. And these are the little things that sometimes goes a very long way. And it's very, very key as well. Is the little things that leaves a big impression on our customers and clients. So this is a skill that we need to make sure that we pay attention to and we enhance it. So it goes a long way.
I agree with attention to detail. So in my career, I also work in HR, and it's so important to have that attention to detail. So quite often I've caught people out to interviews, right, where they say, oh, I've got a keen attention to detail and I'm perfect. And you look at their CV or you look at their application and it's littered with mistakes. And it's like, how can you prove to me, where's the evidence
Yeah,
actually got attention to detail when your application is littered with errors? So I think it's really important to have it. It's a skill, and I get that takes time to develop.
Yes.
But yeah, powerful stuff. What's number 4?
So number 4 is problem solving.
So
problem solving. This is what I guess we all created to do, and we find our purpose in solving problems. So this is a skill that you have to have, and it gives you the ability to quickly think on your feet, solving various issues on the day. You know, especially in our sector, hospitality, there's always opportunities for problem solving. Some that are predictable, some are unpredictable. So you always have to have a structure in place to how you're going to solve problems. You know, making sure that the customer doesn't complain, and if they do, how quickly are you going to rectify the situation? It's a skill that is really valued, highly valued in hospitality, because we need to make sure that we're listening and resolving issues quite quickly and trying to avoid, potential catastrophe on the day. So, for instance, an example will be a guest has checked in and they're not happy with their room. Immediately, you have to offer them something complimentary. So, I do apologize. I can offer you a complimentary drink at the bar while you quickly, speak to housekeeping department to see what they can do. Maybe you're waiting for a guest to check out of the room to have the room ready. Again, it could be an example on the day of the event. Someone's asking for something. Again, you offer an alternative. So maybe they've got some dietary requirements. And you can't say, oh, sorry, we don't cater for this. You just, okay, I'll speak to the chef, see what we can, offer you. Offer them alternatives. So you quickly go to the kitchen. Oh, chef, we've got this guest who's got dietary requirements. What can we put together? So
can I ask something then? Looking at some of the comments that people are making, and Deepak is saying it's 1 a.m. here, yet he's listening to the advice that's been given.
Oh, wow.
Sam also mentioned something. He says problem solvers are valuable people. Now, you also said something which really hit a nerve. It really hit somewhere with me. And you said, we find our purpose in solving problems.
Yeah.
us a bit more about that, actually, because I think you're right that, you know, within your purpose is shrouded a problem. So tell us a bit more about that, just for the listeners to connect to that.
We all have a purpose, and we all here for a reason. And our purpose is to do, you know, is for us to find out what our purpose is. And purpose is, you know, always solving problems. So you're the solution to someone's problem. So I can be the solution to someone's problem. For example, they'll be like, oh, I've been trying to, you know, can you recommend, or I've been trying to book something, I haven't had, you know, any joy. I can say, oh, this is what I do, so I can help you. So then I'm solving their problem in terms of doing the legwork for them. I can point them in the right direction to say, oh, why don't you book this venue? I've used them before, or I can assist you in what you're doing. Again, if someone's got a challenge and you know how to solve it, so, you know, help them solve that challenge, is by offering your service, because I think that's what we're created to do, to help one another, you know, solve challenges that people are facing. If that's
yeah, I love what Uduma says about learn to apologize and fix issues for customers. So learn to apologize. Hey, how hard is it but for people to apologize? It's
absolutely. Yeah, I mean, you can never go, if you apologize, you never, it doesn't mean, it doesn't cost you anything. And I think also sometimes, even though you might be in the right, but the customer is, you know, some might not be theoretically correct, is just apologize. Oh, I do apologize. Okay, I totally understand. It doesn't mean that you are accepting the fault. It's just, you're just trying to think quickly on your feet, to resolve the issue from it escalating.
Amazing stuff. Let's move to number 5.
Number 5 is flexibility. So in our industry, in the hospitality industry, we tend to do a lot of long hours, unsociable hours. Sometimes we're not able to go on holiday when we want to. We can't go on holiday on certain periods of the, you know, of the month, or because obviously those are the busiest periods for us. So you have to have a plan in place. For example, in my job, my role that I do, I find sometimes clients want to come quite early before going into the office. So if they start, we both all start at 9 o'clock, but the client wants to come in slightly earlier. Do I say, oh, sorry, no, I start at 9? No, it's not really professional, and that's not the service that we want to offer. So we want to be flexible. So I can say, okay, I usually start at 9, but because of you on this occasion, I'm happy to come in early. Sometimes you find, you know, clients want to come in after they've finished work on their way home. We all finish at the same time, but you just go that extra mile in staying behind a bit longer. Sometimes the good thing about, you know, these being flexible is, in our industry, you sometimes get a day off, or you might get a bonus as well, you know, working extra double shift. But I believe this is something that we need to be, we need to adapt to. We need to be very flexible. Try not to be too rigid, you know, I'll say. So flexibility is definitely one of the things, and it's quite key to retain customers and to make sure that you actually stand out in the industry, or in whatever industry you're in.
I love the way Deepak says flexibility, aka adaptability. So a lot of people have been talking about that. I think in this current climate, it's so important for anyone to be able to adapt to whatever's going on. So look at the way we now work differently.
Yes.
If I decide, no, I want to be, you know, doing the things the way I used to do it before, I'm not be in a job, or I'm not sure that as a business owner you will survive, because you cannot continue to operate the same way as you did before COVID. So I think adaptability.
And also you find that with, like, now we've had to adapt in terms of how we run events. So for instance, rather than being in person, now you're having a lot of virtual events, and now people are connecting from so many places. Now, the talks of hybrid events. So things have really changed. I mean, I've attended some seminars on Zoom that in different countries. I don't think I would have seen myself traveling so many times backwards and forwards. So these are things that are here, and we need to adapt. We can't say, oh no, I'm going back to the way things were before. We need to stop resisting change, and that would help us go a long way.
Okay, what's number 6?
Number 6 is organization skills.
Okay.
So we need to make sure that we are organized. It requires that we multitask, doing multiple things at the same time or in the same day. So having like a to-do list, an action plan. So when you come in the day, list the things that you have to go through the day. Try and be organized. Have a notepad and pen. List the things that need doing, things that need to be done. Otherwise you get overwhelmed and you'll be all over the place. So having, sometimes you find that if you need to have a conference call, make time for those. Otherwise you end up rescheduling calls that you've already acknowledged to say yes. And sometimes it doesn't look professional, having to reschedule sometimes, or cancelling appointments as well. And one of the reasons why sometimes hospitality can be so difficult is it can get hectic. In a day, you have so many things going backwards and forwards. You're probably in a meeting and then you're back in the office. You have to probably send out a contract. You've got phone coming in and then you've got a client appointment. So if you schedule how things should be in the day, it makes the day, works, seamlessly, and it allows you to handle the task well as well. And doing things well, like the Bible says, I think in Ecclesiastes 9:10, whatever you find to do, make sure you do it well. So make sure that you're well organized, your day's planned, and things will be in place.
Yeah, I think the Bible also says, just going scripturally here, it says, do things decently and in order. I think it's
absolutely
1440 or something like that. Let everything be done decently and in order. And it's there for a reason. I think we
absolutely
all have to be organized. Otherwise, you end up missing deadlines.
Oh, yes.
How are you if you're not able to organize your day? And
absolutely. And also, it plays a key role, because if you're not organized, no one wants your service. You'd be like, oh, so like if you're meeting a client and you've got things all over the place, you've probably brought out the wrong contract, you've got the wrong, you're all over the place. Nobody wants to be dealing with someone who's not organized. It doesn't make you look professional. So it's quite key that you're on top of your game, you're organized, who you're meeting, where you're going, what needs doing, and it makes everything, top notch. And people will be after you. People want your service more and more.
Exactly. Dr. Savage just said, if you're not organized, no one will want your
exactly.
It's so true.
Yeah. So it's quite key in hospitality that you're organized. Yeah.
And I think not just, it goes beyond hospitality.
Yes.
Even your personal life, to a large extent, you need to be able to organize, okay, what am I doing this week? What am I doing today? What am I doing this? Otherwise, the days roll into weeks and months and years.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I get really itchy if I'm in places, or if I'm attending something that they're not organized. I'm like, oh my, you're like, oh, what's going on? You're like, you don't want to be huffing and puffing, but you're like, oh my Lord, how you like, what's going on? And I sometimes I find that I do, I don't know, because of my line of work, and we have to be organized. So I find I take it outside of work as well. So if I attend a seminar and, they're not on time, and then they're here, they're there, I'm like,
It shows you've got no regard for people's time. And that's so important. And Yes, so there's this thing about African time.
Ah,
My husband's cousin would say I'm fashionably late.
late.
Thinking, is it fashionable to be late?
Oh,
When you think about it deep enough, it's just disregard for people's time.
absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
Number 7. What's your final thing?
The final one is teamwork. Teamwork. I love this one. It's one of my favorites. I love working in a team because I think together everyone achieves more, and then together we make things happen. So regardless of the role that you are, if you're a senior manager, a CEO, we need to get our hands, roll our sleeves and get tuck in. And in our profession or in our industry, we always need to be seen as hands-on, getting the team involved, working together, having that rapport with your team allows you to achieve more. For instance, some of the awards that you read out, it wasn't just me, it was a team of people. We all worked together, although you might be the manager, but you still have to do what they're doing, so that you can feel, have the experience. Sometimes when what they're going through, you understand. We have a goal, and the goal is, okay, this department, we've got this amount of revenue to achieve. I need to make sure that they're happy, they understand. And when I get involved, everyone, we all get involved together. It's a teamwork. Together, we achieve our targets. And this is something that I believe everyone needs to make sure that they adapt, fitting into the gaps where you see it lacking. We all are part of the organization. I think somewhere, if we go biblically, 1 Corinthians 12:14 talks about, the human body is made up of many parts. And teamwork works across everywhere, be it ministry, be it, in our personal life, wherever you find yourself, teamwork is quite crucial. And it's interesting how, we're one body, but made of, God has created individual parts. So the head needs the neck needs the shoulders. Our hands are not all the same, but we need the hands. We need every part of the body. And this is very, very key in hospitality and in any industry. For you to achieve your goal, you need to work together as a team. No man is an island, as they say. Yeah, so that's something.
Amazing. Those 7 things for me are just phenomenal, because whether you're in employment, whether you've got a business, and in fact, even in your own personal life, all of these things matter. So I'm just going to do a very quick recap then of everything you've shared, because I think there may be someone out there who, I don't know, joined us a bit late or whatever. Go through what you've said, just for the sake of, summarizing it. So the first point you said was customer service. So that's really having in mind that you are there, you're in that position for the purpose of making sure that your client or your customer is happy. And because they are able to pay you for what you do, you're able to exist, whether it's whatever it is. The second, communication. So you talked about speech, writing, body language, and again, cultural awareness. So be mindful of how you interact with people, bearing in mind that, a lot of our body language can either, make people go, oh, I don't want to go back to that place, or actually that person was warm. The third point was attention to detail. So that's about, making sure that you're paying attention to the minutiae. And I think for me, that is so important. And I mentioned this in relation to interviews, where people come along and they say these things. But in certain professions, such as nursing, if a nurse gets it wrong, their professional registration could be at risk. So attention to detail is so important in every profession, in your personal life, in everything, because, it's just really key. The fourth one then was problem solving. And what honestly, this really stood out. We find our purpose in solving problems. So actually, someone else's problem is in my purpose. So until I unleash my purpose, there's lots of problems. So actually, there are problems in this world, and therefore people need to rise up to the challenge of what exactly am I on earth to do? Because if there are problems and you're seeing those problems, your job is to fix those problems, and that's why you're F. So I think that was so profound for me. Number 5 was flexibility, adaptability. And the thing about what I love about that one is in this post-COVID, whatever you want to call it, world, you need to be flexible. You need to be
absolutely.
You cannot afford to go, this is how I do things, and I'm just going to stay. You can't do that these days.
No.
Because, people have lost jobs, things have happened, and you to be able to hold on to whatever you have, I think it's fundamentally important that you're adaptable, that you're flexible, that you work around, you find a way of working around.
Absolutely.
You, because don't forget, you're there for the clients, you're there for the customers. Number 6 was organization skills. And I think that is so fundamental, in your personal life, in your career, in your job, in your business. You just need to be organized. And, it's a case of finding that, how do you balance? If you've got 1,001 things to do, it's about how do you prioritize what's urgent, what's important, and how do you make sure that you don't drop the balls? And I think to some extent, sometimes we feel, oh, I'm superwoman, I'm going to do everything. No, you can't do everything. If you can delegate, of course, delegate where you can. It's all being organized, is what I say. And then the final one was teamwork, which I also really love. And if you think about it biblically, Adam was given Eve, right?
Yes.
Teamwork makes the dream work. No man island. I think I saw somebody. No man island. You can't do things by yourself. You need someone else to achieve what you want to achieve. You need people around you. You need to know who. You need destiny helpers within the workplace as well. I say you need mentors. You need coaches. You need, people, good people around you.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can't get there alone. Get in there. If you want to, someone said something about, if you want to go somewhere, go alone. If you want to go fast, go with, I can't remember. I don't know if you've heard.
Yeah, I've heard that saying, yeah.
Yeah, if you want to go far, you go with
people.
It's amazing. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
What would you, just final words, and if you've got any offers, what would you like to share with the viewers?
My final words is, all these skills are always there. It's a process, and there is ongoing skill that requires regular practice. So the more we practice, the better we get at it. Never think, oh, you have arrived. There's always, you can always fine tune these skills. And I'm constantly learning. As we've said, this skill does not just apply to hospitality, but it applies to our personal lives and all areas. I'm available if you need any assistance in looking for a venue. You want to organize a conference, you can find me on LinkedIn or Instagram. But probably LinkedIn is probably where you can get hold of me. Both is fine. And I'm happy to assist you, suggest venues, or if our organization can help, we'll look into that as well. Yeah. And if you need any assistance in co-hosting, voice narrator, it's a skill that I've developed during lockdown. I never knew that I had. So
amazing. Yeah. And of course, you offer discounts. So yeah.
Yes.
Amazing. So thank you so much. Just 2 quick things before we close. So like I said, if anyone on this platform wants to feature, the next episode's going to be in 2 weeks' time. So this is going to be 2 weekly. And that's on the 27th of April at 7 p.m. UK time. I'm sure that's the same as Nigerian time. Yes. 7 p.m. So all you need to do is send a message to the admin on the page, or Dr. Sam or myself, and we will get you going. The second thing to say is, if you have listened to this conversation today and you're feeling like, I don't know why I'm here, I don't know what my purpose is, I don't know what this whole thing's about, I've existed for this long, and I've just got a regular job, and I'm, whiling away my time, and I'm okay, I'm coasting, then Spin is for you. Spin, okay? And that's the School of Purpose and Influence, okay? School of Purpose and Influence. So it's a bespoke school that is designed to help people discover their purpose, so to discover God's purpose for their lives. So if you want to live a life of impact, you want to live a life of influence, please do go to spinuniversity.org, just on the screen there, spinuniversity.org. It's an amazing school. And what you will find is you will finish coming out feeling, right, I'm ready for the world. I'm ready to take on board anything everything that God has deposited in me. I'm ready to unleash, and I'm ready to bless humanity with what God has given to me. So it's so important. Thank you so much to everyone. Can we just say thank you to Sister Amelia for having...
Thank you for having me, and thank you everyone. You've been such amazing. Thank you so much. I'm blessed to be here, and I'm glad you guys for hosting me. So thank you, and thank you, Dr. Sam, and everyone who connected. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Yes, amazing. So thank you very much, everyone. And that's goodbye until the 27th of April, as I've said, where we will come along and share another 7 things with a fantastic, amazing guest. So I look forward to it, and I hope you will join us again in a couple of weeks' time. Thank you so much for joining, and God bless.